We live in a world where games can become crazy hot and popular in a matter of minutes, thanks to YouTube, Twitch, and all that stuff. We have seen tons of games experience this, from Fortnite, PUBG, Among Us, and there was one game that really stood out from all those content creator craze games, and that was Phasmophobia. Normally I put the game's title card right here, but this game doesn't really have one. Just kind of throws you into this room. Fuck it, let's move on. Before I go on to explaining what I like about Phasmophobia, I want to talk about horror games in general. I feel like you have two versions of horror games. There is story-driven panic and jump scare city. Story-driven panic would be games like Outlast, Resident Evil 7, PT, or even older games like Fatal Frame and Clock Tower. These games have you going through a character's story, usually through a creepy scenario, to get you into the mood of horror. Jump Scare City are games like Five Nights at Freddy's, Pacify, Devour. I could go on, but I'm gonna be honest, just go on Steam, and I'm sure you can find like 1,000 of these kinds of games. These games are here to make you do some task, and if you fail, something pops out, screams at you super loud, and you restart. You might disagree, but I honestly put all horror games into these two categories, and I think Phasmophobia is somehow right in the middle of these two genres. In case you live under some kind of rock and don't go on any video site or social media, let me go over what you do in Phasmophobia in a brief description. You are a ghost hunter. No, you do not go and kill ghosts. You are pretty much one of the dudes from the show Ghost Adventures. You have to find evidence of what kind of ghost is haunting a location. You and 3 other friends get to walk around a house with thermometers, cameras, EMF readers, all those fun toys you see in the ghost shows. Certain ghosts have certain things that a tool can reveal, and after you get enough information, you can write your guess down and leave. Now, I want to move on to the things I really enjoy about this game. The first, and I would argue the best feature of this game, is sound. And not only sound, but in-game microphones. You can't play this game without a mic. Well, not effectively anyways. You can talk to your friends in-game, and they will only hear you if you are close by, or if you want, you can use the radio to talk to everyone. Something about this system feels great. You never know when you'll get a radio call from a friend across a school saying, "It yelled at me!" But chatting with your team isn't the only reason to have a mic. When investigating, you have to ask the ghost questions, like, "Do you want us to leave?" or "Give us a sign," stuff like that, to get a response. Doing this is how you get the ghost to trigger your devices to find out what kind of ghost it is. And no other game does this. At the time of this editing, there have actually been 2 games that have popped up on Steam that are very similar to Phasmophobia, and I just wanted to share the titles with you. They are Ghost Hunters Corp, that is out now, and The Hauntings, that comes out October 22nd. I have not played either of these games, but they do look like they play exactly like Phasmophobia. So I'm not going to say the train of clones is coming, but we will see. Not only is your voice needed to find out what ghost it is, but when the ghost gets mad, it starts hunting players. It tracks based on both sound of your character and if you're making noise in your mic. And it just... how do I describe this? It is a feature that I feel makes this game stand out above any other co-op horror games. The next thing I want to bring up is the atmosphere. It feels spooky, whether it be a basic house or a giant asylum. It's an incredibly dark game, and you can only see what your flashlight shows you, and you can feel the tension as you're exploring. You never know if the ghost might just pop up in front of you. I would like to point out the ghost doesn't really jump scare. It's not in your face screaming. The ghost might just appear as a shadow, or your heartbeat will kick up, or sometimes it'll appear in full form and slowly walk towards you, but I wouldn't call it a jump scare in the normal context of that phrase. It doesn't feel like a cheap way to scare you. Exploring the location, seeing what's around, hearing the creaks and sounds, it all is brought together. I think it really excels at giving you that feeling of being a ghost hunter. This game is my favorite game to play with a group of friends. Out of any co-op game I've played, Phasmophobia doesn't force you to do tasks as a group, but working together makes it easier. It also creates a lot of fun stories between you and your group. Maybe your friend was being hunted and threw a crucifix at the ghost and died anyways. Maybe you had someone play for the first time and screamed the first time you saw the ghost appear. All the little stories we make when we play together are some of my favorite things about this game. It's an experience that anyone can have, since the game doesn't have a difficult barrier to entry. No need for fast reflexes, precise aim, or a deep understanding of mechanics. Just pick up a flashlight, pick up a ghost hunting device, and see what you can find. Phasmophobia released on September 18th, 2020 for early access. Normally I would never play a game in early access, but seeing all the YouTuber clips and streamers play, I had to give it a shot. Since its release, the game has only received more content, such as more levels, ghosts, and lots of bug fixes. And the best part, none of it is DLC. All this new content is completely free. Phasmophobia was developed and released all by one guy, D. Nider, under the company Kinetic Games. He has actively been working on making the game better since its early access release, and continues to have more planned since the release of this video. Personally, I think this game gets better with every patch, and I'm excited to see what they will add to the game. Even though this game's big surge on YouTube and Twitch have died down, I still think Phasmophobia is worth a look into for anyone. I think there is nothing like it on the market and gives players something we never see in the horror genre. I constantly come back to it with every update, and I never leave feeling bored. So, if you stuck around till the end of this video, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day.